What's up guys, and welcome back everyone. My name is Shriki and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. Probably read it from the title already. I won't call this necessarily a guide, but just like a video to orientate yourself on what unit you should probably go for when it comes to getting that unit ultra gear or not. Before we go into the video, quick short notice. As always, I do stream live on Twitch every single day, so if you want to check me out live once, just click the Twitch link in the description, leave a follow, and you get a notification when I go live. Besides that, if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. Helps me immensely, and also is going to enable us to continue to grow further together. Without further ado, now let's get into the video itself. So let's actually look what we have here. So we're starting here in the Berhat, and we're gonna go over every single character, and if you should go for ultra gear for him, if you shouldn't, if yes, why, if no, why not. I know that like a lot of people already probably used a lot of the engraving stones to start getting ultra gear, but this should just like hopefully like maybe some people saved them, and maybe some people are still like unsure if the unit they would get ultra gear for is maybe future proof or not. So what we're going to do here, I'm literally going to go over every single unit we have. We're currently 15 units which are engravable heroes for ultra gear. So I'm going to start off with Diane. Diane, hands down, skip. There's no necessity to actually go and get yourself ultra gear for Diane. She doesn't see much use in PvP, she doesn't see much use in PvE. Literally would be wasted resources. King, on the other hand, King is a unit where I actually recommend getting ultra gear for him, but he's not first choice. All right, so King is actually a unit where I can recommend go for his ultra gear, but don't go for it as your first unit. That's what I'm trying to say. Go for HP def on him for PvP and get yourself the ultra gear there. So when it comes to the rankings, I'm gonna say like who you should start off with. So Gilfon is another one where I can recommend to actually partially ultra gear him, but only if you really care about Guild Boss. He doesn't really have to have ultra gear. He like in theory he's a skip as well, same as Diane, but there's a mono rad strat for Guild Boss which can give you a lot of points, and if you have the belt and the orb ultra gear on, you can get yourself way more points, which is for example something I did, and I'm scoring way higher on Guild Boss just because of this, and compared to without it. Literally the same as with Hauser, same thing as well. He doesn't need to have ultra gear on for PvP, he doesn't see that much use anymore. For Guild Boss, he's also part of the Mono Rat team where you use him, and same thing here as well, HP defense, and then you go for ultra gear in the bottom row to get yourself higher HP. Griamore, skip, straight up skip, isn't like relevant at all, skip. Jericho is an interesting one. As of right now, we have Inek, Guild Boss, absolutely unnecessary to get yourself ultra gear for Jericho. In the future, if we get Kaleg Guild Boss again, where Jericho is literally the unit to go for to actually go and deal the highest amount of damage, and we haven't gotten Derriere up until then I recommend to actually get yourself ultra gear for Jericho to actually hit harder and get yourself more points there. That's something I can recommend. Helbram, to be honest, he's a skip. Getting ultra gear on Helbram isn't really like future proof. Yes, Kingbram will see a lot of use every couple of weeks when the meta shifts and stuff, but you don't necessarily use Kingbram or like Helbram too often, to be honest. You don't necessarily use him for raids besides Green Helbram, but then again, you don't need an ultra gear on him. For PvP, yes, he's useful, but then again, even with ultra gear, Helbram doesn't have high CP, so it's not really worth, in my opinion, going for ultra gear on him. Don't really recommend it. There are far more units that actually do benefit from ultra gear far more than he does. Elioni, there's one Guild Boss strat with Elioni where you would potentially need ultra gear, but in general, skip. Golgius, skip. Ruin, skip. Gustav is the same as with Jericho. Once we get Kelek back, you're running Gustav or Merlin, one or the other. And if you get Ultra Gear on Gustav, you can get yourself a bit of higher points there. Hendrickson is a skip. Dreyfus is a skip. Elizabeth, as of right now, is a skip. Not necessary, to be honest. Lilia is another one where I would argue she's up in the top 3 of units you should actually ultra gearing first. She was my first ever unit to actually go for full ultra gear, hands down. Blue Lilia, 100% worth ultra gearing. Yeah, nothing much to add. Like, she's super insane in PvP. She's future proof as hell. She's gonna stay relevant for such a long time. So the unit where I can like actually hands down recommend go for ultra gear on her if you have Blue Demon melee. All right, that is the condition, if you have Blue Demon melee. Escanor, and here is our big boy, Big Daddy Asker. He's the #1 unit you should prioritize right now for getting ultra gear for if you haven't done so already. So I can tell you, Escanor is gonna be future proof for a very long time. He is just like literally the meta right now. If you don't face mono red team with like red Escanor, you're gonna face a PS team with like green Escanor. And the fact that we already got his ultra gear so fast and so quickly, since the release of ultra gear, he's gonna stay viable for a very long time as a DPS. Doesn't matter if it's red or green Escanor. Once again, he's gonna stay he's gonna stay relevant for a very long time. And then depending on what Asker you're gonna run, mainly you go for either attack defense for green Escanor or HP defense for red Escanor. Just keep that in mind, please. Gallant, straight up skip, to be honest. Valenti, I know a lot of people actually did get themselves ultra gear for Valenti, and I did tell people, please don't do it. It's a waste of resources. And it's literally become reality. So we did get Red Skinny King. Valenti got pretty much obsolete. She did get replaced by Red Skinny King, and people now are mad because they don't have engraving stones anymore. So please don't get yourself ultra gear for Valenti. It's not necessary. Even for like Hell Grey Demon later on, it's not necessary to have ultra gear on Valenti. You don't need it. Absolutely recommend to not get it for her. And then we have Melascula. I don't have Melascula just yet. Didn't pull her so far. Skip. Simple answer. So if you would ask me about the ranking, which unit I would go first for when it comes to ultra rare, getting ultra gear for, it's #1 is Escanor, #2 is hands down Lilia, and #3 is King. Those 3, so Asker, Lilia, and King, in that order, that specific order. That's what I recommend. And then you have a couple with like Gilfonda and Hauser for bottom row for Guild Boss. Same with like potentially eventually Jericho and Gustav for once Kelek returns. And yeah, that's basically it already. I hope you guys actually profit and can profit from this video, and I did help you out with this, because I haven't found actually like too many videos about like what units you should focus on when it comes to like getting ultra gear for. So I hope it helps you guys. And yeah, this is basically it already. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. Helps me out immensely, and it's going to enable us to grow further. And other than that, hope I did entertain you guys, and goodbye, and bye bye.